Imagine standing at the heart of Beijing over 500 years ago. The year is 1420. The air smells of fresh timber, coal fires, and horse-drawn carts. Thousands of laborers are putting the finishing touches on one of the most ambitious construction projects in human history. Massive red walls stretch across the horizon. Golden roof tiles glisten under the northern Chinese sun. Imperial guards patrol broad avenues, designed according to ancient cosmological principles. This is Beijing during the Ming Dynasty. A city built not only to govern an empire, but to represent the order of the universe itself. Today, we're going to travel back in time and walk through the streets of Ming Beijing. We'll explore the magnificent Forbidden City when it was newly completed. Visit bustling markets crowded with merchants from across Asia. Meet scholars preparing for imperial examinations, and see how ordinary people lived beneath the shadow of the emperor's palace. Using historical records, archaeological evidence, and AI-powered reconstruction, we'll uncover what Beijing really looked like during one of China's greatest golden ages. This is Ming Dynasty Beijing as few have ever seen it. To understand Ming Beijing, we first need to understand why it existed. When the Ming Dynasty was founded in 1368, the capital was located far to the south in Nanjing. The dynasty's founder, the Yongle Emperor, had expelled the Mongol rulers of the Yuan dynasty and restored Han Chinese rule after nearly a century of foreign domination. But his son, the Yongle Emperor, had different plans. A powerful military leader, Yongle believed the empire's center of power should be closer to the northern frontier. The Mongols still posed a threat beyond the Great Wall, and controlling the north was essential for maintaining stability. So he ordered one of the largest urban reconstruction projects in world history. Hundreds of thousands of workers, craftsmen, engineers, soldiers, and laborers were mobilized. Entire forests were harvested to provide timber. Gigantic stone blocks, weighing hundreds of tons, were transported across vast distances. Materials arrived from every corner of China. After years of work, Beijing emerged as the new capital of the Ming Empire. What arose was far more than a city. It was a physical representation of imperial authority. Every road, gate, wall, and palace had symbolic meaning. The city's design reflected Confucian ideals, Chinese cosmology, and the absolute power of the emperor. As we approach Beijing in the 15th century, the first thing we notice is its enormous scale. The city is surrounded by towering defensive walls. These walls stretch for miles and rise more than 10 meters high in many places. Built from packed earth and reinforced with bricks, they form one of the most impressive urban fortification systems in the world. Watchtowers stand at intervals along the walls. Soldiers patrol continuously. Large gates control entry into the city. Each gate is a fortress in itself, protected by multiple layers of defenses. Outside the walls, farmers cultivate wheat, millet, vegetables, and fruit. Small villages dot the countryside. Caravans approach from distant provinces carrying silk, tea, porcelain, medicinal herbs, and luxury goods. The closer we get to the city, the busier the roads become. Merchants lead pack animals loaded with goods. Officials travel in sedan chairs. Peasants bring produce to market. Monks journey between temples. The roads are alive with movement. Ahead rises the capital of the Ming world. Passing through one of the great gates, we enter a city unlike any other on earth. The streets are broad and carefully planned. Unlike many medieval cities in Europe, Beijing follows a highly organized grid pattern. The city feels deliberate, ordered, controlled. Major avenues run north to south and east to west. Government regulations determine where people may live, trade, and travel. Different districts serve different purposes. The urban landscape reflects hierarchy. Everything revolves around the emperor. The closer one lives to the imperial center, the greater one's prestige. At the city's core stands the Forbidden City. Beyond it lies the emperor himself, and beyond the emperor lies heaven. This relationship between heaven, ruler, and people shapes the entire urban environment. Even the orientation of buildings follows strict principles. Most important structures face south, considered the direction of warmth, life, and authority. Order is visible everywhere. Now we arrive at the most magnificent structure in Beijing, the Forbidden City. Newly completed during the reign of the Yongle Emperor, it is one of the largest palace complexes ever constructed. The name itself reveals its purpose. Ordinary people cannot enter. Even high-ranking officials are subject to strict restrictions. For most residents of Beijing, the palace remains a mysterious world hidden behind towering red walls. The complex covers more than 180 acres. Thousands of rooms fill its courtyards and halls. Golden roofs dominate the skyline. White marble terraces elevate the grandest structures. Every detail symbolizes imperial authority. The color, yellow, reserved for the emperor, appears throughout the complex. Dragon motifs decorate walls, roofs, and furniture. Stone carvings depict mythical creatures and heavenly power. Crossing the Meridian Gate, visitors enter a sequence of increasingly impressive spaces. Massive courtyards lead towards ceremonial halls. The scale is overwhelming. The Hall of Supreme Harmony stands at the center. This is where major state ceremonies occur. Coronations, imperial weddings, New Year celebrations. Foreign envoys bow before the Son of Heaven. On ceremonial days, thousands of officials gather in carefully arranged ranks. Their colorful robes create a sea of silk beneath the palace roofs. At the center sits the emperor, the most powerful man in East Asia. The palace is not merely a symbol. It is a functioning city within a city. Thousands of people live and work here. Eunuchs manage daily operations. Servants maintain buildings and gardens. Imperial guards provide security. Officials prepare documents and administer state affairs. Members of the imperial family occupy private residences deep within the complex. Their lives are governed by elaborate rules. Schedules are strict. Ceremonies are frequent. Every interaction follows protocol. The emperor's day begins before sunrise. Reports arrive from across the empire. Petitions require approval. Military matters demand attention. Diplomatic missions await audiences. Decisions made within these walls affect millions of people. From the palace, the Ming Dynasty governs one of the largest and wealthiest empires on earth. Surrounding the Forbidden City is another protected zone known as the Imperial City. Here, important government institutions are located. Administrative offices process taxes, military records, legal disputes, and official communications. Elite officials move constantly between buildings. Many have spent decades studying Confucian classics to earn their positions. Education and merit play major roles in Ming governance. The civil service examination system determines access to power. Success requires extraordinary dedication. Some candidates study for years. Others devote entire lifetimes to passing the examinations. Within Beijing, scholars represent one of the most respected social classes. Their presence shapes the city's intellectual atmosphere. Bookshops thrive, private academies flourish. Debates over philosophy and governance fill courtyards and tea houses. Knowledge is power, and nowhere is that more evident than in the imperial capital. Leaving the government districts, we enter a different world. The markets of Ming Beijing. Here the city truly comes alive. The sounds are overwhelming. Vendors shout prices, animals bray, customers negotiate, artisans hammer metal, children run between stalls. The air is filled with countless smells: fresh noodles, steamed buns, roasted meats, incense, tea, medicinal herbs. Market districts attract people from every level of society. Merchants display silk from Suzhou, porcelain from Jingdezhen, tea from Fujian, spices from distant lands. Exotic products arrive through international trade networks stretching across Asia. Some goods come from as far away as the Middle East. Others arrive via maritime routes connecting China to Southeast Asia and beyond. The Ming economy is thriving. Commercial activity is everywhere. Money changes hands constantly. Silver increasingly becomes the preferred medium of exchange. Economic growth fuels urban expansion. The markets of Beijing reflect the prosperity of the age. One of the most fascinating aspects of Ming Beijing is its diversity. Although predominantly Han Chinese, the city contains people from many backgrounds. Officials arrive from every province. Merchants travel from distant regions. Military personnel represent numerous ethnic groups. Foreign envoys regularly visit the capital. Interpreters facilitate communication. Diplomats exchange gifts. Religious figures move between temples and monasteries. The streets reveal a rich tapestry of humanity. Clothing varies according to social status. Officials wear robes indicating rank. Merchants favor practical but often luxurious garments. Laborers wear simpler clothing suited to physical work. Social hierarchy remains important. Yet the city brings different worlds together. In the markets, temples, and streets, people from across the empire interact daily. The wealthiest residents live in spacious courtyard residences known as Siheyuan. These compounds are architectural masterpieces. High walls provide privacy. Elegant gates mark entrances. Multiple buildings surround open courtyards. Gardens feature carefully arranged rocks, trees, and ponds. Family life centers around these enclosed spaces. Generations often live together. Grandparents, parents, children, and servants share the same compound. Confucian values emphasize family relationships and respect for elders. Architecture reinforces these ideals. The most important family members occupy the most prestigious rooms. Visitors are received according to strict rules of etiquette. Within these residences, elite families enjoy considerable comfort. fine furniture, calligraphy collections, paintings, books, musical instruments. The educated upper class cultivates a sophisticated lifestyle focused on culture and refinement. Not everyone enjoys such luxury. Most residents live far more modestly. Craftsmen, laborers, shopkeepers and workers occupy smaller homes and crowded neighborhoods. Yet, even ordinary districts possess a sense of vitality. People wake before dawn, shops open early, food vendors prepare breakfast, artisans begin their work. The city functions through the labor of countless individuals. Blacksmiths forge tools, carpenters construct buildings, weavers produce textiles, potters create household goods. Transportation workers move supplies across the city. Every profession contributes to urban life. Children help family businesses. Women manage households and participate in economic activities. Communities develop strong local identities. Temples, markets, and neighborhood organizations create social connections. Life is often difficult, but it is also dynamic and resilient. Religion plays an important role in Ming Beijing. Temples are everywhere. Some are grand complexes supported by the state. Others are small neighborhood shrines. Buddhism remains highly influential. Monks maintain monasteries and conduct ceremonies. Taoist temples attract worshippers seeking blessings and protection. Traditional folk beliefs coexist alongside organized religions. People pray for health, prosperity, good harvests, success in examinations, protection from misfortune. Incense smoke drifts through temple courtyards. Bells echo across the city. Religious festivals bring communities together. Processions fill the streets. Music and performances attract large crowds. Even in the highly organized imperial capital, spiritual life remains deeply woven into daily existence. One structure deserves special attention: the Temple of Heaven. Located south of the Forbidden City, it is among the most important ceremonial sites in the empire. Its architecture is breathtaking. Perfect geometric forms symbolize harmony between heaven and earth. Here, the emperor performs sacred rituals. According to traditional belief, the ruler serves as a mediator between the human world and cosmic forces. If heaven favors the emperor, the empire prospers. If heaven withdraws support, disaster follows. The annual ceremonies conducted at the Temple of Heaven are therefore matters of national significance. The emperor arrives in elaborate procession. Officials accompany him. Musicians perform ritual compositions. Sacrifices are offered. Prayers are recited. The event reinforces the connection between political authority and divine legitimacy. For the people of Beijing, these ceremonies are powerful demonstrations of imperial power. The Ming Dynasty places enormous emphasis on defense. This is particularly true in Beijing. The city lies relatively close to the northern frontier. Memories of Mongol rule remain fresh. Military preparedness is constant. Garrisons occupy strategic locations. Weapons are stored in armories. Soldiers train regularly. The Ming military uses both traditional and increasingly advanced technologies. Gunpowder weapons are becoming more common. Cannons defend city walls. Firearms supplement conventional weapons. Military parades showcase strength. The government wants both citizens and potential enemies to understand the empire's power. Security is a visible part of urban life, especially near government and palace districts. As evening approaches, the city changes. Shadows lengthen across the streets. Market activity slows. Families return home. Lanterns illuminate doorways and courtyards. Night watchmen begin their patrols. Curfews regulate movement after dark. City gates eventually close. The atmosphere becomes quieter, yet Beijing never fully sleeps. Palace guards remain alert. Officials continue working. Travelers seek lodging. Tea houses host conversations late into the evening. The glow of lantern light reflects off-tiled roofs. The great capital settles into darkness beneath the stars. Beyond the walls, the countryside lies silent. Within them, the heart of the empire continues beating. By the 16th century, Beijing stands at the center of a remarkably successful empire. The population has grown significantly. Trade flourishes. Arts and culture thrive. The city attracts talent from across China: painters, poets, scholars, engineers, merchants, officials. Innovation occurs in many fields. Printing technology spreads knowledge. Literature reaches wider audiences. Commercial networks expand. The capital becomes one of the largest cities in the world. Foreign visitors often marvel at its scale and organization. Few urban centers anywhere can rival Beijing's combination of political power, cultural influence, and architectural grandeur. It represents the peak of Ming civilization. Yet beneath the surface, challenges are emerging. Government corruption occasionally weakens administration. Factional struggles develop within the court. Economic pressures increase. Natural disasters affect parts of the empire. The costs of defending vast borders continue to rise. For the people living in Beijing, these issues may seem distant at first. The city remains magnificent. The emperor still rules from the Forbidden City. Markets remain busy. Temples remain crowded. Life goes on. But history is always changing. The glory of Ming Beijing will not last forever. In the 17th century, internal rebellions and external pressures will eventually bring the dynasty to an end. Another ruling house will take control. The city will survive, but the world around it will transform. If we could stand atop the city walls of Ming Beijing and look across the capital, the view would be unforgettable. Golden roofs stretching toward the horizon. Massive gates guarding carefully planned streets. Markets buzzing with commerce. Temples filled with worshippers. Officials hurrying toward government offices. And at the center of it all, the Forbidden City. A symbol of imperial authority unlike anything else on Earth. Ming Beijing was more than a capital. It was a vision of order. A city designed to reflect the structure of the universe. A place where politics, philosophy, architecture, religion, and daily life merged into a single extraordinary urban landscape. Many of its greatest monuments still stand today. But the Beijing of the Ming Dynasty was a living city, filled with sounds, smells, ambitions, fears, and dreams. A city of emperors and laborers, scholars and merchants, soldiers and monks. A city that stood at the center of one of history's greatest civilizations. And thanks to historical records, archaeology, and modern reconstruction technology, we can once again walk its streets and glimpse the world that existed behind those legendary red walls. This was Beijing during the Ming Dynasty. And this is what one of the world's greatest imperial capitals really looked like.